Welcome to Top Step Auto. This is the F1 show. This is a recap of the Imola GP 2022. This was the first sprint weekend of 2022, which showed good and interesting battles on what was to come on Sunday. The qualifying took place on Friday, and we qualified in the rain. Due to the wet weather, there were some crashes, and some cars didn't qualify so well or high up in the starting grid for the sprint race on Saturday. The two main contenders who fell towards the back was Carlos Sainz starting the sprint race in P10 and Sergio Perez also starting the race in P7. Kevin Magnussen started the race in P4, which is Haas' highest starting position. Sebastian Vettel also qualified P9, which was the highest for Aston Martin in 2022. The starting grid was Max P1, Charles P2, Lando P3, Kevin Magnussen P4, Alonso P5, Daniel Ricciardo P6, Perez P7, Bottas P8, Vettel P9, and Carlos Sainz P10. At the start of the race, Charles Leclerc got ahead of Max Verstappen heading into the first corner. He took the lead and heading down into the first lap. Perez ended up in P3, Carlos Sainz ended up in P4, but the most exciting part of the sprint race was when Max took the lead with 2 laps to go ahead of Charles, winning the sprint race. On Sunday for the feature race, it started on a wet and rainy track. These are the top 10 leading positions: Max P1, Charles P2, Perez P3, Sainz P4, Lando P5, Daniel P6, Bottas P7, Kevin P8, Fernando P9, and Mick Schumacher starting in P10. At the start, Max took the lead, followed by Sergio Perez, then Lando Norris, and Charles fell to P4 on his first lap. Also, Carlos Sainz got hit by Daniel Ricciardo, and he fell out of the race. But Daniel recovered and was heading for last position because he had to pit. Now, this is Sainz's second retirement in 2 races. By lap 12, there were some big gainers within positions. George Russell, who started P11, was up to P5. Vettel, who started P13, was up to P8. And Lance Stroll, who started P15, was up to P10. These were the drivers who gained the most positions on the first 12 laps of the GP. At lap 52, it was Max P1, Perez P2, and Charles in P3. While chasing down Perez for second place, Charles went over the curb too fast and spun on lap 53 of 63. Charles had to go to the pits when then he came out in P9. Charles ended up finishing the race in P6, which was damage control. He still leads the World Championship, and we will go over those numbers. The race ended with Max Verstappen P1, Perez in P2, and Lando Norris came in P3 due to Leclerc's spin. So the top 10 was Max at P1, Perez P2, Lando P3, George Russell P4, Bottas P5, Charles P6, Tsunoda P7, Vettel P8, Kevin Magnussen P9, and Lance Stroll P10. This weekend gave Aston Martin his first points for 2022, which was a massive boost for the team, as the first 3 races they didn't score any points. And now they're ahead of Williams with 5 points, and Williams still have 1 point. Now for the top 5 drivers in the championship, the leader remained Charles, who has 86 points, then Max with 59 points, Sergio Perez 54, George Russell 49, and Carlos Sainz with 38. Out of the 20 drivers, 18 drivers have now scored points. The only 2 drivers which remain is Nicholas Latifi and Mick Schumacher. In the team standing, Ferrari still leads with 124 points, Red Bull to 113, Mercedes is third with 77, McLaren 46, Alfa Romeo at 25, Alpine at 22, AlphaTauri at 16, Haas at 15, Aston Martin now with 5, and Williams at 1. I must say though that this weekend was a Red Bull dominance weekend, as P1 for qualifying, sprint win, and then the race win. Max Verstappen did not put a foot wrong this weekend, and hence he dominated the entire weekend. It was a great race for Lando Norris coming in P3. He kept the McLaren close to the top 2 teams, and wherever Red Bull or Ferrari falters, McLaren and Mercedes are there to pick up the big points. So it was another great drive by George Russell also, who came in P4, which was a good spot to finish in. But somehow Lewis couldn't make up much ground and he ended up in P13. Once again, Aston Martin first points was this weekend, with Sebastian Vettel P8, Lance Stroll at P10. Good job for both drivers, and a great drive also from Valtteri Bottas finishing in P5. Now that's it for the recap of Imola GP 2022. See you in 2 weeks' time, we'll be in Miami GP. Once again, thank you for listening to Top Step Auto. Please hit that like button and subscribe. I will see you on the next one.